You're watching SBA Today. With all the latest news, stories, and advice, here are your hosts, Paul Long and Tanya Mazurek.
SBA. Welcome to SBA Today for the week of April 14th. I am Paul.
And I'm Tanya. And give it shout out to Res Title for the sponsorship. But anyway, we're getting
Absolutely.
into the
That's right. So SBA highlights range of new measures to stop fraud. God, this is not an article from 2 years ago. But before we get into that, Tanya, I got a question for you. So
Sure.
Would you say that these random SBA fraud checks is kind of like the TSA pat downs when you go to the airport?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you walk in asking for some help. You walk out feeling like you got your dignity. Your dignity's been kind of taken away a bit, right? In the auditing. I'm sure many though, they get what we're trying to say, right? We want, or what the SBA is trying to say. They want to support you, right? They do. But first, let's remove your belt, your shoes, all hope of privacy whatsoever. And that's really kind of how our borrowers feel, really, to a degree, right?
Well, yeah, and I think
general, already, let alone coming down the line. So.
Well, yeah, So again, our friends over at DOGE, whatever you'd like to call it, they again really uncovered a lot of fraud and abuse apparently on that, including over $630 million in loans made to applicants over the age of 115 and under the age of 11, according to the Social Security Administration.
Yeah, key changes to combat fraud within the SBA's loan program include citizenship verification. All SBA applications now include a citizenship verification provision to ensure only legal, eligible applicants can access SBA programs. Lenders are required to confirm that applicant businesses are not owned in whole or in part by an illegal alien. To verify applicant age and date of birth, this provision will mitigate fraud stemming from applicants using an identity other than their own, including those of children or the deceased. Automatic fraud alerts. SBA's date of birth verification process will automatically flag any applicant claiming to be younger than 18 or older than 115 years of age. Now, let's dig in here for just a
I got so many questions
Oh
on
my
that.
God, right?
So first of all, if you're 114, it's not going to flag you.
No.
Am I reading that right?
Yeah, even now.
Have to be,
yeah.
But apparently you have to be 115. Now, I'd still like to meet a 114-year-old, but let's be let's be real. Okay, we're all realists on this. Can't we just admit that it was probably just an error in E-Tram? Like,
yay and
humor me. I'm really trying. I'm trying here.
Maybe not. But even if it's an error in E-Tran, man, where are the systems in place, right, to catch that?
Okay, that part.
Either way,
fine. I get that. Under the age of 18, I think should be a flag, and that makes sense. And I guess I just don't understand the older than 115. I don't know. I
don't know anybody that's 115.
Annoyed with our world right now. It's just, I get it. But and so curious, Tanya, too. Have you had any where you've had to use the green card, go check it against the Sacramento 504 and do any of that?
I haven't, Paul, but again, I am not one that actually submits it into the SBA, kind of like your shop does, right? It's going to be our processors. I have not been told that I've had any issues when it came to, to that, but that doesn't mean that we haven't, because we have gotten the errors back and whatnot, right? But I don't know specifically oftentimes what it's for, depending, unless they tell me.
Got it. We had one that was kind of we had a person who was a 5% owner non-citizen. So we had to kind of go through that song and dance. And so it's out there. It's interesting, and it's weird conversations you have to have.
It is weird conversations. I mean, and honestly, it feels like the fraudsters are actually, they're just ahead of the game, right? So people in fraud or that type thing, right? It's like no matter what we're putting out there, it seems like they're kind of getting ahead of that, and we can't keep up to a degree as well. So, I mean, there's partially that as well.
I still think it's errors within E-Tran. I'm sorry. I really feel that way.
Okay, so I look forward to hearing that. I think there's probably a little bit of both, but I think you're probably right. I mean, if you're a fraudster, why in the heck would you put in that you're 115 years old, right? Or under 18? Because that seems like that should be an automatic catch. So you're likely right that it is an error. It's just surprising, though, that that error doesn't pop up or hasn't popped up prior.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna have one of my underwriters who submits stuff in. I'm gonna have her put in 130 and just see what comes back, if it's just a validation error or how it works, because I'm just curious how it works.
Or
right? Yeah. So if the SBA starts using AI to detect fraud, okay, should small business owners start whispering to their QuickBooks like it's listening?
Absolutely. Yes, because it's like next time you're reconciling your accounts, right? Just lean in and say, hey, AI overlord, that Venmo payment was for office supplies, not tacos. I swear. Bonus points if you make awkward eye contact.
Well, here at my house, I have 10 Alexas. Yeah. I have one in every single room. So I can make my house pounding in music. Like I thank God I don't have neighbors near me. But yeah, I mean, I know that they're hearing me right now as I'm talking. Yeah. Jeff Bezos is the best. Like, let's just see how it happens. See if I get an Amazon gift card in the mail.
Exactly.
Anyway, so AI is powerful, but again, it's only good as the data and logic that it's trained on. If algorithms flag legitimate activity, can lead to delays and denials, which we've already kind of had with, what we've been doing on the latest on there. As Ray always says, I want my PLP back. Well, I get that. And you're right. But really, it's only asking, for the most part, it's 24, even less to get the authorization back or get your approval. It's not a huge time suck. But again, when you fall into the trap, that's really where you have issues. So, we just need to have transparency and, human oversight. That's why I feel like we have job security, because you still have to think at the end of the day, and you can't trust the machine to do that.
Yes. At least we have job security, right? How many of us? Who can tell?
Well, that's a totally different story. So, with the help of DOGE, SBA has already made a number of what they call common sense reforms. I think common sense is all in the eye of the beholder. In June 2024, the SBA approved $783,000 loan for a small business that was 49% owned by an illegal alien. In February, an internal SBA audit identified that illegal status of the individual and halted the loan from being dispersed, ensuring that zero was distributed to the business. Oh, that's nice. DOGE from 2020 to 2021, the SBA issued more than 3,000 loans for $333 million. First of all, that's a lot of threes. That makes me raise my eyebrow to that.
Hey, three's a really good number, actually. If you,
I guess, to borrowers over 115 years old, according to Social Security. So, who's wrong? Social Security or the SBA? Right?
Who can tell?
Yeah. So, who knows?
Yeah. You know what? Okay, so with everything that they're introducing, Paul, right? So they're going to put in all these new measures to try to catch some of these mistakes actually early on, right? How might these new measures from the SBA unintentionally burden the very small businesses that they aim to protect.
Buckle up, because that's where I think we're going to have issues. More paperwork. The SBA is trying to get away from paperwork, but then it's things like this that can add things back. So extra paperwork, longer processing times, all of that. I mean, you're going to have to keep your accountant on speed dial, right?
Right.
While we're trying to catch fraud. I know, right? It's definitely going to be additional work and time. I just keep thinking of, again, when do we usually do an e-trans submission? Well, it's probably, I don't know, a week, maybe late for a PLP shop like me, maybe a week, maybe week and a half before closing date.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if I'm doing a business acquisition and they have a, hard due dead, booking date by the end of the month, I probably still haven't submitted my e-tran yet, because I'm a PLP. Like, what's there to worry about? Unless I get something and then all of a sudden things get halted, but can't really blame me on that.
Well, has that changed a little bit, or does that change in advance whenever they're like saying they're cutting down the money, or there may not be money, that type thing? Do you go in and get your authorization number in advance? Meaning, do you submit sooner
I
than?
mean, maybe. I maybe did something like that when the fees came out. I don't know. I mean, I've just heard many rumors of people doing that. But if SBA fraud checks become more intense, will we need to bring an emotional support CPA to our loan meetings? Or it's going to be crazy.
I know. CPAs need to bring cookies. They need to bring cookies whenever they're going over cash flow and just.
That's right. I mean, today is tax day.
Some yoga. Let's do some yoga before we go over this. So.
Right. Today is April 15th, at least when we're recording this. So make sure to reach out to your CPA today and ask them hard questions. They will love to hear from you.
Well, yeah,
I'm kidding.
We're joking, right, guys? We're joking to a degree. And in all seriousness, right? The emotional toll of complex bureaucracy is real. We've seen it, right? We've seen it, especially for first-time entrepreneurs or those from, the underrepresented communities, let's say. More clarity, less jargon, and proactive education could reduce the stress and improve outcomes for everyone involved. Now, let's talk about that for a second, Paul, because, don't you agree? Sometimes the extra bureaucracy or the extra paperwork or the extra in-depthness that we're fixing to get into, the people it hurts are the small ones we're trying to help. And Absolutely. So, anyway.
This is what it is. This is
the
right. And we'll figure it out. I mean, we always do. We always get through it. So let's move on to our next topic, Tanya.
Okay. National Small Business Week is coming soon. May 4th through 10th, National Small Business Week 2025 will take place. During that time frame, SBA will officially recognize their hard work, ingenuity, dedication, including their contributions to the economy. And this is the businesses we're talking about, right? That they're recognizing.
Yep.
We encourage all of you to get involved, right? Get involved with your regions and go to their events, go to their ceremonies, go to Small Business Week, man. I mean, I've gone to them almost every time and they are a blast. It's so much fun what you can see, who you see. It's pretty amazing. So get out there and do it.
I agree. And I'm sure, Colorado is pretty active region down there. So, I mean, Definitely. I'm sure you guys probably have some sort of event. We have a gala event that's sponsored by SCORE. All of the business brokers in the area come, all the lenders come. It's like a freaking SBA family reunion.
Does it go on for days too? Ours usually is at a convention center and it can go on for days, at least. I think it's at least 2 days and oftentimes.
No, we usually do like a lender training for first part of the day and then a gala in the evening for the award winners. So it's pretty cool on there. And I got to share. So every year I do try to submit one person within the loans that I've done in the year, because I want them to be recognized.
Right.
And I had one that won this year.
What?
or out of Oregon. It's IFA Inc. Congratulations, Mitch. I'm sure you listen to our podcast. But yeah, he was exporter of the year for the Oregon market. And so congratulations to him. They're going to do a little ceremony at his place of business, and we're going to make sure to be there to support. And you know, it's great. It's great PR for them. It's just great PR. So find out what's going on in your area and make time for those things, because that's where you're going to go out and meet people and see really the power of what we do. So
well, and you know, the second thing on that, Paul, is kudos to you, because not every lender takes the time actually outside of what we're doing in general, and to send in or do what they have to do to send that in to recognize one of their clients. So kudos to you as well. All of us need to be doing that. And oh my goodness, we're going to overwhelm them, right, with with potential winners. So congratulations to your winner.
And by the way, in case you're wondering, their application is very similar to a 1919, where there's tricks and tips and all of this in the application just to nominate.
Tricks and
thanks, SBA.
It's kind of like a lot of those, you go through, like I tell my daughter at college, right? She goes through the class and then she gets to the darn exam. And oftentimes they do the trick questions, the questions that could be this, but it might be this, but it could be this. And you have zero idea. Same basic thing. Yeah, no worries.
Exactly.
Anyway. Well, Paul, it's been fun. And I know we haven't had a whole heck of a lot today, but it is a huge subject. We could just probably talk on this forever, but we won't, because we'll bore you guys. Anyway, don't forget, we're live on Tuesdays on LinkedIn and or YouTube. If you can't get enough of us, go find some of our past episodes on any of the streaming platforms that you have. While you're there, look at the BDO show and or the Art of SBA Lending. Also, don't forget, if you've got title work, go check out Res Title, because hey, they are the sponsor of the show, and they got some stuff going on. So go check them out. Rise up with your big bad selves, right? We'll see you next Tuesday. And if nobody's told you, we think you're awesome. All right, see ya.
See you later.